AITA for refusing to post my girlfriend on social media? So I, 27M, have been with my girlfriend, 28F, for almost a year now. Every now and then she would send me Instagram posts from her other friends and relationships of their dates, milestones, etc. I'd always say that's cute, or something along those lines. But after a while it was obvious that she wanted me to do it as well. I somewhat brushed this off as I'm not very active on social media, but at this point she has basically asked me point blank to do it. She says that it would make her really happy, but I've openly told her that doing so makes me highly uncomfortable. She's somewhat upset about it, but I am standing my ground. My girlfriend happens to be quite active on her socials, and I have no problem with her posting photos and videos of us and our activities together. She does this a lot, and I do honestly find it quite nice, especially seeing as she gets a kick out of sharing our moments to others. I definitely get it. But, like I mentioned earlier, I'm just not a big social media guy. Yes, I am on social media, but I'm just a lurker. My last posts were from well over 5 years ago. My Facebook posts go back to my high school and university days. I literally have 0 posts or stories on Instagram. I just browse through them to stay updated for work, news, fashion, sports, and my other interests. I don't even comment on or like any posts of friends and family, even my parents. My girlfriend has asked me about this, and I openly told her that I just don't feel comfortable to share or post anything. I have 3 friends I keep in touch with outside of my work. The other people who do follow me are either family members, the usual gossiping type, but who would also react negatively if I block them, or people from high school and university that I'm not close with. I don't want people knowing what I'm up to. Maybe you can add the fact that I work in digital marketing, so I am very much aware as to how advertisers, companies, or even scammers can exploit any personal data. So for these reasons mainly, I feel highly uncomfortable putting myself out there. And I've explicitly mentioned this to her every time she brings up the topic. She can post me or whatever she wants on her pages. Those are hers. But I don't want anything on mine. Of course, I completely understand why she and a lot of people find posting couple photos cute and sweet. I wouldn't be surprised if people here are weirded out by my discomfort with just making a social media post. This is precisely her point, which is why she is a little upset. But I've been firm about it for now. Basically, I rather have no presence on my personal pages if I can help it. And these are MY accounts after all. So I think I should have final say on how these are used, right? AITA? Now to the next story, story 2. WIPTA for telling my roommate that he needs to get a different job. I, 26 am a single-income household and work as a first responder on a 24/72 schedule. My roommate is a 21 and works as a door-to-door salesperson. Sales commissions are his only form of pay. We'll call my roommate E for simplicity's sake from this point further. E is my little brother's friend from high school and attended a university approximately 45 minutes away from where he lived, but 12 minutes away from where my home is, thus prompting him to ask if he could move in with me while he went to school. Obviously with my schedule for work, and at that point I was single with very few people to help me take care of my dog, so this situation worked out good for me, and it was overall mutually beneficial, so I said yes. Fast forward approximate 2 years, E has failed out of the college he was attending, tried community college and dropped out again, quit one job, fired from another, unemployed for a period of 6 months and didn't pay rent that entire time, used my car during that time. He also got it towed, and I had to pay to get it back $400, because he totaled his, and now he is at his current job, and has been there for about 4 months now, has wrecked/totaled his second car going to work, and is now on his third car, and effectively has no money. I pay for everything that people would assume is normally split 2 ways: laundry detergent, toilet paper, paper towels, all the bills associated with the house, etc., and E never offers to chip in or help with basic consumable items. E is again struggling to pay me rent even with his current job. I probably should have mentioned this prior, but I charge E $200 a month for rent with no rules on how he pays it, so currently he tries to pay $50 a week and still can't manage it. He no longer helps take care of my dog and barely does the one other task I ask of him: mow the backyard, which takes less than 20 minutes. Due to the time period where he wasn't paying rent, he currently owes me $2,300 between missed rent, getting my car towed, buying him groceries that he can't pay back, and now I'm struggling financially because I need to be home to take care of my dog, which severely limits how much OT I can pick up to make ends meet. I've told E in the past that it might be a good idea to search for other employment options, and his response is, "I'm going to see this job through, and I see it as a lifetime career." I'm always as accommodating to what he's doing as I can be so he can try and figure out who he is as a person due to all of his different life plans changing as mentioned prior. However, I'm at the point where I want to tell him he needs to get a different job that pays an hourly wage with a part-time, or full-time honestly, schedule so he actually has a chance at being independent in life as well as honor what he had agreed to when he moved in. I truly care for E as an honorary little brother, but I don't think I have the right to tell him what jobs to / not to work. Next story, Story 3. WIPTA for introducing my partner to most my relatives except for my grandparents. My 27F, BF, 31M is going to visit me this year and I'm super excited about it, but also incredibly worried about introducing him to my relatives. My relationship with most of them is strained at best. I have various concerns about that visit, which I may address in separate posts. Now to what brings me here. My grandfather and I had a fallout a few years back when I suffered from PTSD. I communicated about the PTSD to various extents with my relatives and made the mistake of confiding in my grandfather, telling him everything. I had my reasons, mainly that all my relatives live in the same small town, and I wanted to have a safe place to retreat to in case I visited and had a breakdown. Boy, did that backfire. When I first told him, everything was fine. He was understanding and compassionate. I was so happy that I put my trust in him and had someone there who I could rely on. It was a huge relief. A few weeks later, he said he had something important to tell me. I kinda had a bad feeling about what he was going to say, so I postponed the talk. When I eventually called back, it made me wish that I had never talked to him at all. My grandfather is a bit cuckoo, esoteric and spiritual, but not in the normal way. More in the, I speak to the spiritual world, and I'm playing a special role when humanity awakens kind of way. It's exhausting and has gotten worse the older he got, but so far, he'd always respected it when I said I don't want to hear about his BS. Given how bad my relationship with most of my other relatives was, I held on tight to every remotely good relationship. Anyway, he told me that he talked to the spiritual world and they said I was a horrible person in a past life, and that's why something horrible, the cause of my PTSD, had happened to me in this life. He sounded calm, happy, and relieved while telling me this. I don't think he said it with malice. He thought it would give me the same peace of mind. But it was incredibly insensitive, and it hurt me so much and shattered all my trust in him. It broke my heart that the one relative, my mom, doesn't count. She's the only light in a sea of darkness, the only real family. I confided in did that to me, victim blamed me. I have been in C ever since. I can't be in the same room with him without feeling pain and anger boil up inside me. I don't want to introduce him to my BF, but my mom asked me to please reconsider, as it would hurt my grandma a lot if I introduced him to everyone but them. My grandma is an innocent in all this, forever getting punished for my grandfather being a difficult character, as we all avoid him and through that, her as well. I see where she is coming from, but just thinking about visiting my grandfather and smiling despite what he did, makes panic rise in my chest. So, WIPTA if I didn't introduce my BF to him?